What's going on, guys? So, yesterday was the Bristol card show. I said that I was gonna try and update people throughout the day. I did like one or two videos yesterday. A few things I got off early in the morning, which I can't really remember what those are now. But I figured I'd show you the stuff that I picked up. So I'm gonna try and quick fire this, a little bit of explanation while we're looking through. So a lot of these are gonna go from small cards to the big cards. So things that I picked up just because I like the look of them, like this Metagross. I like Metagross. I think he's a cool Pokemon. So I just picked up random things that I don't have. But yeah, yesterday the show was really good. I wish it went on for a little bit longer. I'll be honest, I didn't manage to make it all the way around the show. I think I spent a lot of my time in like the first, there's like a little atrium area that's there. And I spent quite a bit of time. I spent about an hour and a half in there. I think 2 hours just in there. Because I was doing some mad deal with some guy for some vintage stuff. There was a lad that turned up at the stall and he had some stuff that the guy was interested in. And I happened to look over his shoulder and took an interest. And he's like, "Oh, do you want to be served now?" I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait until I see what you buy there." So I ended up getting a couple of bits off of him. Some Pokemon Go cards here because I'm trying to master set Pokemon Go with a friend of mine. A very heavily textured, the whole card's textured and clever, which was really cool. And I do love me a Starmie, and that Starmie pops in the light. I love it. So yeah, the actual overall show was really, really well run. I really wish that there was different options for drinks because for drinks wise, you can only get cans, and that's all fine and good. But you don't really want to be like carrying around cans of drink, putting them on tables, and then like they accidentally spill over, and that did happen. Some guy had rested a can of Monster on this guy's display, and the Monster got knocked over, covering his display in stuff. Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah, we got a whole train of Charmeleons and Charmanders. I picked up this yesterday for £15. It is absolutely minty, fresh, clean. It is so nice. So nice. Centering is really nice as well. So I'm probably going to get this one graded, to be fair, because this absolutely pops out of a sleeve. So yeah, I would love to get that graded. But yeah, it was a long old day, and in the end, I kind of just forgot. So yeah, that's just me sucking at being a content creator, I guess. We did get an Arbok. This is an incredibly clean Rocket's got Arbok as well. So I was really happy to pick this up because I need it for my set. I'm only missing very few cards now. This is an incredibly off-centered Charizard V-Star. Look at the state of that. But I got it actually in trade, so I didn't even pay this much for it. So that was really cool. That was a nice pickup. I got of the same guy. I can't remember his name now. They were lovely though. He was a really cool guy. Does some really nice deals. But I picked this up for £24, which is a mad price for this because when I looked on eBay and checked eBay, they were going for 30 plus. So quid's in there. This was one of my favourite pickups of the day because this card is so cool. I absolutely love it. And I picked this up for 32, and I was like, that just seems cheap for that. When I checked eBay at the time, could be different now. They were going for like 40 to 50. I was like, well, I know tag team cards are picking up, so that was really nice. Then we got a Blastoise CX, which you've probably just seen, which I don't own any Mega Blastoises, so big boy Blasty. We did pick up a few Blastoises. There's going to be one more Blastoise. I got this off of my mate Gav. I managed to get Gav. I managed to sell some of his cards, so I ended up selling £300 worth of his cards, and in the process, we did a trade for that later on. But I got myself this Articuno on top as well, and he gifted me the Articuno. I was going to give him 35 for it to go like towards his goal, but he's like, "Yeah, you've done really well for me." So yeah, I got a free £35 Articuno, which is really nice. Did everybody like my burn as well? So I was cooking a pizza earlier on, and I've singed myself, which is absolute garbage. So yeah, rip me. Speaking of rips, let's do the vintage ones first. No, let's do the so we got this. I love this card, and they're very hard to find. It is a little bit beaten, but it is a Black Star promo. I didn't pay 50 for it. I did like a whole deal because there was damage at the top and everything else, and I was like, you know what? And the guy did me a bit of a deal, and I got it. I think a quarter of the price cheaper, and he did some deals on some other stuff. It was literally the last deal of the day. Kind of panic bought, I'll be honest, but I do like it. It's going to go in my binder. It's going to be something I'm going to keep, not going to be something I was going to grade and sell on. This was really cool. This was one of the cards I was waiting for this guy to put aside for me. It's a really nice card. I think we picked this up for about 20 because its condition was really good. So I got 20 on this, but it was part trade because I also picked up a Pokemon Center ETB for a friend of mine. A champ, same guy, really cool guys, and condition again for an old card, really not bad. This is a big card. Now, only big issue with this card is that if I can show it on camera, there's a dent right there. You see that? Now, the dent could be dealt with a little bit. It's not bad, but overall, the overall condition of the card is really, really nice. Corners are nice. The edge wear is at a minimum for the age of this card. Like, there's not really a lot of edge wear that you can see on this card. The guy's done me a deal. I think his name was Zach. I want to say his name is Zach. I know the first guy I spoke to was called Mo. He was a really nice guy. I believe I've got a card from him somewhere. I literally had his business card here like 10 seconds ago. I don't know where it's gone. But they were really cool guys. And the guy hooked me up with this as like an £80 deal with like a bunch of the other stuff that you've already seen. So that's really cool. I've always wanted this. It was one of the very few cards I was missing from my Rocket set. So that was amazing. And then we got some big boy cards. Now, the condition of these are not great. Shi Cheng, I think his name was. Really nice guy that I met at one of the stalls. He hooked me up with these. These are two cards that I've wanted for a very long time. Now, they are beat. This has got a huge crease down here and everything else. But what these cards are and how many of these cards are about, you just don't see them, especially this one, because this is a WotC promo from like years ago, and they were really hard to get hold of back then. If any of you have seen my artwork, this is actually the Venusaur that I drew, so it's my favourite artwork of Venusaur, and it only, as far as I'm aware, only comes in this card. So the guy's got a PSA 1 at £70, and then I've got Charizard. Blaine's Charizard. I thought I had one of these in my collection, and then when I looked, I didn't, and I was really upset. And it just so happens that I picked up the Charmander and the Charmeleon about an hour and a half before I found this. I spoke to Chen, and he was like, "Yo," I said, "Can you do me a deal on these?" I said, "Like, I've wanted these cards for a while. You know, the condition is like a less than desirable. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is." And he was like, "You know what?" He had a look on there for me, see what he could do, and he did me 100 for the both. So 100 for the both. Some people might think I'm absolutely insane, but the way I see it is that I now own a Blaine's Charizard and a WotC promo Venusaur, which most people do not own. So I did really well. I had a good time at the show. I think all told, I spent about 300, I think, something like that. I spent about £300, which isn't terrible. I did trades as well. Obviously, I mainly do like a lot of stuff that I've got is mainly Korean. But yeah, I did quite a bit. I did quite a bit indeed. But there's some good stuff. I really enjoyed myself. I had a good time. Made some new friends. Made a new friend called Olivia. She was lovely. She's an Omnionite collector, so shout out to her. And we bought her a Stuffle at one of the stalls. Yeah, overall, really good experience, guys. If you can get to a card show, make sure you do so. There's going to be some coming in the new year. I'll be at the London XL Card Show, and we're going to be doing this all again in April, just before my birthday. So it's going to be a crazy one. We're going to post up a pack opening today as well, because I bought some packs. And we'll see you all guys tomorrow.